Hi guys, hi. Hello. Okay, time out. Okay, so good day taong bayan. Nandyan pala kayong lahat. So, nagkakantahan pa kami dito ng wife and baby girl ko eh. Pero anyway po, for today's discussion will be the appointment ni former DOJ Secretary Boying Remulla as the new Ombudsman. Okay, so yung mga kinakatakutan po ni Senator Amy Marcos, yung nag-pray pa po siya nung Sunday lang po may ginawa siyang post, ay nagkatotoo. Okay, so for today's video po, i-discuss ko sa inyo kung ano ba talaga yung ombudsman, ano yung mandato niyan, bakit yan siya importante po sa bansa natin, and then magbibigay na lang din po ako ng konting personal opinion and mga maritesan po dito sa pag-appoint at pagpili kay former DOJ Secretary Boying Remulla as the new Ombudsman po of the Republic of the Philippines. Quick reminder, wag niyo po sana kalimutan mag-subscribe sa YouTube channel ko and i-like mismo yung video na to kung magustuhan po ninyo. And of course, sa lahat po ng gusto sumuporta sa YouTube channel ko, you may do so by joining the membership. Okay, so ang tawag po dyan ay yung Associates for Truth. Okay, anyway, start po tayo sa discussion. Para po mas maintindihan niyo yung yung point ko, ipapakita ko na lang din mismo yung post po ni Senator Amy Marcos. So, noong October 5, 4 p.m., ito po, naglabas siya ng official statement. Sabi niya, sa Lunes, nakatakdang hirangin si Boying Remulla bilang ombudsman. And then, basahin nyo na lang po to kung gusto nyo talaga makita. Sa Facebook page po to ni Senator Amy Marcos mismo. So, ito po, makita nyo naman yung name. And then, yung sa pinakababa po, yan. Yung sabi po niya, iligtas mo ang inyong bayan, Panginoon. Okay, so this was in 4 o'clock, October 5. And then, ng October 5, 9:04 p.m., may shinare naman po si Senator Amy from Batas PH na sabi ng Supreme Court spokesperson na no shortlist yet for Ombudsman post. This was on October 5, 9:04 p.m. Then, yung next po nangyari dyan was yesterday lang po kung saan gumawa ako ng post about this at 3:35 p.m. So, this was in October 6, 2025. Nag-release po ng shortlist or ng mga nominees yung Judicial and Bar Council, the JBC. So makita po niyan, nominee number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And ako po personally, yung candidate ko dito supposedly is si former Supreme Court Justice Mario Lopez, si candidate number 5. Okay, so personal choice ko lang po yun based on how I observe him as a person and as a former Supreme Court Justice. Pero yun, hindi po siya yung napili, unfortunately. Okay, so anyway po, October 6 to, naglabas ng shortlist yung Judicial and Bar Council. And then yung next po dyan, ngayon lang po to, October 7, 2025. Yan, formally na po na-appoint si DOJ Secretary Remulla as the new Ombudsman. Okay, so gumawa rin po ako ng post nito. And then ito po, meron din yung official statement from PCO. So if you want to read this fully, you can do so in my Facebook page. Or pwede nyo rin po bisitahin yung Facebook page ng PCO. Naka-upload din po to. Okay, so anyway, yan po yung magiging facts ng discussion natin. And before ko po i-discuss yung constitutional provisions regarding the Ombudsman, i-share ko lang po muna tong video ko na to sa inyo. So yung title po niyan, Ombudsman, ano at bakit ito powerful. So yung gagawin ko po kasi in this video, papadaanan ko na lang yung constitutional provisions. Pero if you want a specific detail kung ano yung mga pwede gawin ng Ombudsman in relation to the issue po na nakalagay dito na pag si Sec Remulla maging Ombudsman, ipapakulong daw si VP Sara according to Senator Amy Marcos. So kung gusto nyo po masagot yung question na yan, dito po yan and explain ko yan sa video na to. Okay, kasi for today po, ang gagawin lang natin is more on general discussions lang about the Ombudsman and yung mga personal expectations or observations ko kay Secretary Remulla as the new Ombudsman. Okay, so hopefully klaro po yan. So yung ombudsman po, para maintindihan nyo talaga kung bakit yan siya powerful, is number one, that is a constitutionally created office or position po yan. So under our 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, may kita po natin yan sa Article 11, Accountability of Public Officers. This is the same provision po regarding the impeachment proceedings, the same article. So of course, yung una niyan, public office, public trust, and then ito na yung mga impeachment, so on and so forth. Pero bababa lang po tayo niyan sa baba, may kita natin yung mga provisions regarding unang-una itong sa Section 4 is the Sandigan Bayan, and then Section 5 naman po hereby created the Independent Office of the Ombudsman. Okay? So again po, if you want more detailed discussion about this as to the qualification, so on and so forth, and then the powers, the specific powers po ng isang ombudsman kung saan pwede po maapektuhan ng isang political candidate, you can watch po the other video. Pero for today, general discussion na lang po tayo. So again, Section 4, dito po natin makita yung creation ng Sandigan Bayan, and then Section 5 po, the creation naman of the Independent Office of the Ombudsman. So una-una po yung kailangan natin i-take note talaga dito, Independent Office po of the Ombudsman yung nakalagay. Meaning, hindi po yan siya under ng judiciary, ng executive, or ng legislative branch ng government natin. Therefore, he is an independent officer po. Okay? So may sariling isip po dapat siya, and wala siya dapat loyalty, may it be sa judiciary, legislative, or executive branch ng government natin. Yan po yung essence ng pagiging ombudsman. And the reason kung bakit importante po itong pagiging independent office ng ombudsman is because po of Section 12. So sa Section 12 po, dito natin makikita ang nakalagay talaga dito, the ombudsman and his deputies as protectors of the people. Diba? In other words po, yung ombudsman yung magiging sumbungan ng tao in relation to the abusive actions or the graft and corruption actions po ng mga public officers natin. Diba? So kung makita po nyo dito, nakalagay shall act promptly on complaints filed in any form or manner against public officials or employees of the government, and shall in appropriate cases notify the complainants of the action taken and the result thereof. Again, ang ombudsman po, ang trabaho niyan in summary is the protectors of the people. So sumbungan po yan ng taong bayan in relation to abusive and corrupt actions po ng mga public officers natin. Okay? So ang masasagot ko lang po dyan, at present, it would appear na qualified po si Secretary Boying Remulla as the new ombudsman kasi nakasama po siya dun sa shortlist ng Judicial and Bar Council, and then ngayon na-appoint na siya, na-officially appoint na po talaga siya as the new ombudsman. So because of that, papasok na ngayon yung principle of presumption of regularity ng mga government actions or functions po, di ba? So again, presumed regular po yung appointment kay ombudsman, kay new ombudsman Remulla. Medyo kakaiba pa po yung feeling pag tawagin kong Ombudsman Remulla. Okay, so again, currently at present po, there is a presumption of regularity as to his qualifications kasi nakasama po siya sa Judicial Bar and Council until he was eventually appointed by PBBM. Okay? Next question na lang po dyan is kung paano questionin yung qualifications niya kung may gusto man mag-question. Kasi di ba may mga final pa namang cases si Mayor Baste against him, pero despite that nakakuha po siya ng ombudsman clearance, and then yun nga hanggang na-appoint na siya ngayon. So kung meron pong gusto mag-question sa kanya as to his qualifications, ang proper procedure po dyan yung tinatawag na quo warranto proceeding. Okay? So in summary po, yung quo warranto, ang ibig sabihin yan, tatanggalin po, or yung layunin po ng quo warranto is tatanggalin po ang isang public officer from his office due to a defect in his or her qualifications, diba? So if an individual or a person believes merong defect sa qualifications ni Ombudsman Remulla, pwede po nila yan questionin via a quo warranto proceeding. Okay? Ito po yung ginawa dun kay former Justice Sereno of the Supreme Court, diba? At ang epekto po niyan, pag natanggal po ang isang public officer via quo warranto, it is equivalent po, or it is as if he or she was never appointed into that office, diba? Like kay former Justice Sereno, nung natanggal po siya via quo warranto, hindi po siya considered as a former Chief Justice sa official records po dito sa bansa natin. Okay, so again, yan po yung isang remedy kung gusto questionin yung qualifications, and kung tingin naman po ng isang complainant or ng mga congressmen natin may ginawang violations sa Constitution po ang isang ombudsman during his or her tenure, pwede rin po via impeachment naman tanggalin po ang isang ombudsman. Yan po yung options. It's either via impeachment or quo warranto proceeding para po matanggal ang isang impeachable officer from his or her office like that of the ombudsman. Okay? So unang-una po ika-clarify ko lang sa inyo, ito pong mga explain ko sa inyo, hindi naman dahil babanggitin ko to ay ibig sabihin na hindi qualified or may potential issues po si Ombudsman Remulla, kasi pangit naman po kung mag-assume tayo ng bad faith sa kay Ombudsman Remulla na magiging biased po siya or partial siya, kasi of course galing po siya sa DOJ as a DOJ secretary, and then he was appointed by PBBM mismo. So again, ulitin ko lang po, hindi po porket sasabihin ko to ay ibig sabihin na bias best talaga si Ombudsman Remulla. Kasi again, I believe po in the principle na we should never assume bad faith sa mga tao or sa mga bagay-bagay. Okay? And alam ko na baka meron pong iilan sa inyo na hindi gusto yung ganitong point of view. Pero ganun po talaga ako personally how I approach things. I never assume bad faith sa mga bagay-bagay or sa mga tao kasi madami na pong mga assuming or judgmental na ibang tao eh. 'Di ba? So ayoko po sumama sa ganong grupo. I would always give the benefit of the doubt po sa mga bagay-bagay or sa mga tao. So despite po Boying Remulla's past actions or past position as a DOJ secretary, I will not assume na he will be in bad faith na automatic magiging bias lang siya towards the PBBM administration. Anyway po, ngayon mag-discuss tayo unang-una yung personal observation ko. Kung titingnan po ninyo yung mga ombudsman, yung mga na-appoint as ombudsman since 1988 by this one by Corazon Aquino, former President Corazon Aquino, yung nanay po ni President Noynoy Aquino, and then Fidel Ramos, GMA, Pinoy, PRRD, and now BBM. Kung titingnan po ninyo, lahat ng past appointees, galing po yan lahat sa judiciary. Talaga silang lahat. Kung hindi man sa judiciary, galing lang din po sa ombudsman. Diba? So like this one po, yung pinakauna, si Conrado M. Velasquez, Supreme Court Associate Justice po, yung post held prior to his or her appointment. And then yung next naman na-appoint, yung OIC, Deputy Ombudsman, and then second na na-appoint si Desierto, which was a special prosecutor. Anyway po, ang main point ko lang dito, kung titingnan nyo to, lahat sila nasa nasa judicial side or sa legal side of things. Okay, so si Secretary Remulla, yung post held niya prior to the appointment was also involved naman sa legal side of things kasi he was the former Secretary of the Department of Justice. Pero yung problem lang po kay Secretary Remulla is that he was a long-time politician po, di ba, before he was appointed in that position. So if I am not mistaken, mas mahaba po yung political career niya kaysa sa appointed career niya. Okay, so yan lang po yung first na mako-comment ko regarding the appointment of the new ombudsman, si Ombudsman Remulla. Okay? And then, ang pangalawa ko lang din pong masasabi in addition lang po to dun sa sinabi kong we should never assume bad faith sa mga tao or sa mga bagay-bagay. Kasi kung titingnan po natin, yung ombudsman po kasi ngayon, di ba, Section 5 of Article 11, it is an independent office of the ombudsman. So when you say independent, hindi nga po siya under ng executive, legislative, or judiciary. Di ba? In short, independent, may sariling isip po talaga ang ombudsman. Dati po si Secretary Remulla or si new Ombudsman Remulla, the reason kung bakit meron po siyang actions na pabor sa BBM admin before is because he was a DOJ or he was the Department of Justice Secretary. Diba? At tatandaan po natin, if you are a Cabinet Secretary of the President, ang ibig sabihin po niyan, he is the alter ego of the President. So in other words po, pag gumalaw ang isang Cabinet Secretary, that is equivalent po to the action of the President. Or in other words, para pong yung Presidente po mismo din yung gumalaw na yon. Therefore, kung alter ego or extension siya of the President, talagang magmumukhang bias or magiging bias po yung mga actions talaga ng isang Cabinet Secretary. Okay? So anyway po, yung main point ko lang dito, kaya before si Secretary Remulla, mukha siyang bias talaga or super pro PBBM siya is because he is nga an alter ego of the President as a Cabinet Secretary, to be specific, the Secretary of the Department of Justice. Okay? Unlike po ngayon sa Ombudsman, pag susundin po talaga yung constitutional mandate ng Ombudsman as an independent constitutional office, edi hindi na po siya mere extension or alter ego of the President. So kung susundin to, mangyayari tong Section 5, hindi na ngayon magkakaroon talaga dapat ng biases si Secretary or si Ombudsman Boying Remulla. So again, ulitin ko lang po, this is an addition lang to the principle na sinabi ko na let us never assume bad faith kasi of course mahirap pag maging assuming tayo or judgmental kasi ang mandato talaga ng Ombudsman is that dapat independent siya na office, 'di ba? Hindi siya loyal or wala siyang biases towards the legislative, judiciary or executive. Diba? Tatandaan din naman po natin, ito naman silang lahat, itong mga individuals na to, tingin ko naman po, they swear loyalty to the Constitution first and foremost. Kung ako po tatanungin, of course, to their faith if they are a religious individual, and then dapat po sa Constitution, yung next loyalty nila, hindi to any specific individuals lang. Kasi as the new Ombudsman, yung mandato po is dapat maging independent office siya, hindi siya magkaroon ng biases. Okay? So yan lang po ang masasabi ko dito. Again, dati po, bias talaga si Secretary Remulla dati kasi nga, Secretary, alter ego siya of the President. Pero ngayon, since independent na siya from the executive, from the legislative or the judiciary as the new Ombudsman, let us not assume na magkaka-bad faith agad si Secretary or si new Ombudsman Remulla. Let us give him the chance to perform his functions as an independent constitutional office po dun sa Office of the Ombudsman. Okay? So hopefully klaro po yan. Okay, so after this video po pala, meron tayong another video tungkol naman sa amendments or insertions, kung magkaiba ba yun sila, magkaparehas lang, at kung ano yung mga legal implications sa mga amendments or insertions na yan. Okay, so more or less after 1 hour po from the upload of this video. But for this one po, hanggang dyan lang muna yung discussion natin. Hopefully klaro po yun. If you like more legal educational videos sa current events, legal explainers po to current events, subscribe lang po kayo sa YouTube channel ko. And until next time, see you all po. Bye-bye!